Hey everyone, it's Wrath here. I just completed another game of Veigar Bots on the hardest difficulty, Veigar's Evil. This time I did it as Jinx. I tried to replicate my previous success with Twitch. The problem is Twitch does not have an adequate toolkit. Um, so I would make it to Veigar repeatedly once I got the group of players with the correct mindset and the correct comp. And the problem is that we just never brought home the bacon. We would just wipe at some point, usually in the third phase of Veigar. I found with Jinx, I can typically get a group to Veigar more frequently. So I just want to do the replay and do my commentary. I will say comp matters. I'm personally not a huge fan of Volibear, but he is A tier or S tier. It just feels much more difficult to carry with a Volibear in game. That said, I lucked out. I got a Darius, a Mordekaiser, and a Vigo. And Yasuo is actually surprisingly good. I didn't think it would be that great. He's meta. He's in a lot of people's groups. A lot of people take him. So I gave him, I enjoyed watching him play. So here's the start. We get to top lane. This is the first time I've ever done this pull. Normally, we go to the tri-bush and pull into the river, and everybody needs to stay in the bush. For whatever reason, Diana is bugging out. Usually if you go too far, they'll back off. And I struggle a little bit. My team is about to give up. I go in one last time, and we just get her in full commit. This works out really well. If you have a quirky top lane, you should probably just give up. You can do it with quirky, and you can be successful. But if he gets away, you've lost gold, and you've wasted your time. We also have we actually missed a lot of CC. You can't see based on the speed, but we still get both of the kills. So, go bot lane. We're facing a Mumu and Malzahar. I'm very fortunate that I have Mordekaiser. This is a juicy lane. I think to myself, okay, I have 4 people who are not trolling and are taking this seriously, and they're all in the right characters. I might swap out the Mordekaiser and the Yasuo, but we're going to go with it. And I have my dream lane. I do not want to face Diana and Jinx. Jinx trades so much damage against squishies. She'll out-trade them. And then Diana, it just is an assassin. She's pretty much as bad as Lee Sin. Most people aren't as scared of her like they are Lee Sin, but they should be. Alright, so the bots like to fight under tower. We get a fantastic trade on a Mumu. He just derps. Malzahar, I don't know what Malzahar was doing either. I've tried to capture this. Vigo and Darius have a very interesting exchange top lane. Darius does manage to pick up a kill, but I believe Diana gets away. Anyhow, our bots are back, so I'm focusing on this. It looks like Diana stayed. You can actually antagonize the bots and get them to stay. And Darius and Vigo should be able to pick up a kill in the top lane. It's very important to understand bot mechanics. You have generic bot programming, and then you have the individual heroes. You can bait any bot into staying and then get a kill on them, even if they're low. And if you have someone who's low on health, the person who's low on health can bait a kill. You just have to be very careful that you have enough health to survive poke, because the bots are ridiculously good at sniping people. And they're just like, they play just like players. They're greedy. If they see a low health player, they can be baited for days, and they can be baited into not taking action. A low health player who chills just out of attack range for them, but close enough that they think that they can get into attack range and kill the player, can get them to ignore their other abilities and attacks and just go for it. Okay, so we're softening up a Moo, and we get a land good CC, so we go in on it. Malzahar, as you can see, this is the easiest time you'll usually have with the bots. I position myself ahead of Malzahar, so his escape route is through the river. That pretty much guarantees that we're going to get him. And sometimes you can get the bot to ignore the river and go back towards their tower. But either way, you get a ton of damage on them and you're good to go. This is something very critical that rookies make. We have health. We could clear out this wave. It is actually better just to back, heal up, and get back to lane than to try and get this wave. Each of these minions is worth about 21 to 14 gold. So some rough math says that's about 100 gold. That is not worth it. Each of these bots is worth 300 gold. And this is something that I should talk about. You have several problems you need to solve when you're trying to beat this mode. You're going to need to solve survivability with the front line. So that's why bruisers work so well and why a dedicated tank works so well. You're also going to need to solve AoE. So you're going to see ADCs frequently build Runaan's Hurricane pretty early. You're also going to have to figure out damage so you can actually connect with kills and also progress through the Veigar fight fast, because the longer the fight takes, the worse it's going to be for you. It's like a typical MMO fight. And then gold. All these things are solved with gold. So you want to maximize your gold. One of the reasons Roam Strat works so well is because bot kills are worth a ton, and whenever a bot's ultimate comes up, they pretty much 1v3 people. So you never want to fight bots on an even kill. You typically want to outman them by 2, so a 3v1 or a 4v2 or a 5v3, and you want to get the kills pretty quick. These are all things you want to think about, but in this instance, the correct play is to just back and then get to lane. While they clean up this wave, we can run back to lane. I may have teleport. I might use it. I don't have teleport. So we're just going to run. Where are we going to run? We go back to lane. They push in. We get back just in time. Mord takes way too much poke. This is not an ideal situation, but they are going to focus him and ignore me and try and secure the kill, so I can work with this at least, if he's smart. We get a little farm. I switch top lane just to try and see what their kills are like. They barely secured that. Jinx could have easily turned that around on them, so you do have to be careful and know your character. If Darius and Vigo were not bruisers / tank, Jinx could easily kill them. So it's not uncommon for a bot to 1v2 people when you think they should die, just because, and part of it is their abilities have such a short cooldown. To give you an idea, Lux feels like she can toss a binding about every 4 to 6 seconds, which is fairly obnoxious. So bear in mind that their cooldowns are not your cooldowns, they are enhanced. I try and get some farm. That was actually really bad. One of the biggest things you can do in this mode is not get hit by Veigar's stuff. If I had not got hit by Veigar's spell there, I could have a chance against a Mumu bot, but I'm in the kill zone now. Even if a Mumu isn't 6 and does not have his ult up, this is still potential death for me. I can no longer fight simply because I ate avoidable damage. And as the mode progresses, it becomes more and more critical that you are not getting hit by those. Not only do you give Veigar a stack, but the time it takes to heal up that damage, it just puts you out of the fight that much longer. Alright, there's a cool play that happens here. One of the curses is Cursed Ground that teleports you. It becomes very obnoxious later on. But my team spots it. I had to watch the replay to figure out how, and I had to watch it several times to figure out how they got into this pit. Because if you see me, the last time I checked my mini map, my team was behind me. I had no clue that they were coming. I decide to mess with Diana, and I land some poke damage on her. And I go to meet my team, and I'm like, where the hell are they? Why are they already fighting her? Why is one of these evil pumpkins already dead? There was no ward. I was trying to figure out how they got there without teleport and without a ward. For the most part, this is smooth. There is one thing you can do different. The biggest mistake that I will see in pugs is that players do not fight the defending boss. We killed Diana there. I can't tell you how many times the defending champion will come in 1v3 because two people are trying to attack the pumpkins and ignore her while one person fights her, or him if it's like a Namumu or a Malzahar or whoever is unlucky enough. But every time you let the bots kill one of your teammates, you're giving that bot 300 to 500 gold, more if it's shutdown gold, and that bot becomes much stronger, which is something you should think about. You need to think about this from start to finish, and you can see we're at 13 kills and 4 deaths right now. We're actually ahead in gold. That is not going to maintain itself, and the bots have hit 6. They've been 6 for a while. All of their ults are up except Lux, but hers is probably on a ridiculously short cooldown. The bots are going to randomly start 1v3ing, 2v4ing, and coming out ahead with 0 deaths. And you're going to see that. We are now in the mid game, and this is how the bots play. It's fairly dirty. You need to expect it and play around it. So anytime that you can secure a very quick kill, even if your share of the gold is only 40, absolutely do it. Think about total gold that your team has earned. Treat this mode as a team game. You're going to have to min-max as much as you can and treat it like an MMO in order to get through it successfully. And the reason the leaderboards are the way they are is because people do treat it like an MMO. It's a problem that is absolutely solvable. So what we could have done different here is we probably should have stalled this out and probably gotten one more easy gank on Diana. She's going to come straight. The moment you complete this, she goes and does her own thing. Though if there is even one hit left in the event, she's going to come. You kill her. You get a nice easy kill. And now you go and you fight whichever lane has a bot in it. As you can see, Lux and Malzahar are in base. They're probably going to teleport in a sec. We do get a clean kill on Jinx, but a clean kill on Diana where she falls over dead and you secure extra gold is going to go a long way in this mode. This is by far not my cleanest game, but I personally could have played this game much better, but I was surrounded by, like, this was pretty much a guaranteed win unless I inted from start to finish. So I have the right people. We have the right heroes. I just go for it, and I suck up some of the small detriments. Now, when you kill Diana here, there's only 4 heroes. You don't lose a ton of health. Yasuo's already poked out. He's not going to be part of it, but we have a really solid 4-man death ball. And if you get a kill on Diana, Veigar is going to take Diana and run around us her for a little bit. And when he has one of these heroes, he can normally 1v1, but he is going to 1v1 and come out with more health than he normally does. Anyhow, let's watch how Jinx goes down. Okay, so she actually takes out... No, she doesn't. They got ported. But the death squad rolled in and rolled us. And this is very common. This is very normal. Those teleports are going to happen all the time. They're either going to zone you out or they're going to completely remove you from the fight. They are so tilting. They can occasionally help you out. As you saw, it helped us secure Well, hold on. It helped us. I think it helps us later on. Meanwhile, Diana, 1v2s. So if we had killed Diana, um, she would have been dead. She wouldn't have killed anybody. The teleports probably would have been around her. We walk over to Jinx. We kill Jinx. The teleports are behind us, and they're not all going to follow us. They love to go back to their lanes, or at least a 2-1-2. Now, we did stall it out. Veigar carried. When I tell you he knows how to play this mode, he knows how to play this mode. I should probably do a video where I follow him around and just watch what he does, because this is Veigar 101. His ward placement, his decision making, his objective control. He kills Diana. He is hunting for these heroes to kill. He is now 1v2ing and winning. He gets a kill. He gets another cluster. Let's back this up slightly. He goes in. I come up. Malzahar terrifies me. If I am too aggressive here, I'm just going to get Malzahar ulted, which he doesn't have up, but I have no way of knowing that. I set down my traps. I zone him out. I go in. I duck out. Darius comes in, cleaves everything up. If I had gone over here and tried to hit one of these guys to get my passive, I probably die because they all turn on me and I explode. So you got to be very careful as a squishy. Bots love to ignore everything around them and connect on you, and because they're synchronized AI, they're all going to do it at once, and you're just going to explode. So we get a very clean steamroll here, but Yasuo goes in early. That's bad. Lux is behind us. She hits ult on several of us. I get zoned out by some circles, and I have to dodge that and that. One of the things you need to be mindful of is when you're Veigar casts Baleful Strike where someone is or where he thinks someone's going. So if you've recalled and you're running back to lane, he will cast it where he thinks you're going to be. They've calculated the timing on this, on how long it takes the projectile to reach versus how long it takes you to go. And some of these projectiles are programmed to fire where it thinks you will be. So when you're running back to lane, you need to be extremely careful where you're going. Now the predictive, I don't think they always predict where you're going. Sometimes they just spam fire where a team fight's occurring. So it's very common that if you're fighting in the same area for a long time, for Bale strikes to just pummel you. And the worst is mid lane. You need to be super careful when you're doing any actions in mid lane because of the baleful strikes and all the champions there. It is ridiculous easy to get hit by baleful strikes, and that is just going to make your life miserable. It's impossible to avoid all of them, but it's something to be mindful of, and it's one of those small things that you can do to min-max this. Okay, right here, Diana eats a bunch of stuff. You got to be careful about the bots. She's getting ready to go back in. We trade a ton of damage. She has sub 200 health. We are stacked. We're a tank. We're an ADC. We're probably grouped up just slightly too much, but we can taste victory. We can taste victory, and she just kills us like that. She actually runs an item. The dashes and spits out bullets, but she can dash away from you and still spit the bullets out towards you, which is not the character version. So you need to be super careful with Diana. I think there might be one other bot that uses it, either a Mumu or Nautilus. I think it's one of the tanks, but she has a ton of bursts. I think she also casts Cascade there. But man, if you told me that she was going to get away and triple kill us, I'd have been like, no, you're wrong. And this is just part of mid game. You're going to deal with it. The best way to avoid that is to just farm the bots. Roam and farm. Roam and farm. Now, Vigo picked up an easy kill there on Lux. He has Lux's powers. They are super strong, and he just annihilates. He annihilates Jinx. So I have a decision to make at this point in the match. What should I do? Should I be team fighting? Um, I am not running Triumph. I'm running Mana Restore. I don't think it mattered this game because we ended up getting Ocean Dragon, but you can't rely on that, and it's nice to be able to just throw on the rockets and leave them on. Um, I don't know that Triumph would give me enough versus cleaving with rockets. Rockets can give you a lot of minion kills. We are so far ahead, the minions aren't going to be pushed in, but I can't tell you how many times every inhibitor's dead and you just are getting your base is getting swarmed with minions, and having being able to leave rockets on is super nice and just gets you so much gold farm. This is pretty unfortunate. Darius got Amumu was chasing Darius. Darius got ported, so Amumu's in a position he normally wouldn't be because he was chasing Darius, and now he's aggroed to me. But I'm pretty sure he's just out of my line of sight. Um, I don't know if I saw the chain there, but I get spooked. I get CC landed by Lux. I'm pretty much exploded here. Now I have a terrible mid game. I constantly eat a lot of their abilities. This is actually to our advantage. Amumu got a one-person ult. His ult is probably on the longest cooldown, and it's also the biggest game changer. It's the only thing going for Mumubot, and he wasted it on one person. The other advantage to this is now that Lux has diagoed me, her and Mel, if you look in the minimap, her and Melzahar are chasing Darius, and Amumu is going to join it. Having 3 bots chase one person has so much advantage. You can't do this for the entirety of the game. You need to secure kills. You need to secure gold. But having 3 bots waste their time on one person is super helpful. And their teleports are up, and I don't think they teleport to top lane, which is a shame because Vigo dies. Mordekaiser dies. I think he would have died to a Baleful Strike there. Yasuo is chilling and farming mid though. These 2 bots didn't push in. I go and harass the wave. And there's Darius living his best life. Clearing this out is pretty huge. We lose this tower, and I barely dodged that ability there. Yasuo got a good wind wall. I miss all of my skill shots. They just dodge it anyhow. This is fortunate. This is what I'm talking about. Those teleports can work super well to your advantage. I actually lead my skill shot ahead of Diana, and these bots have everything calculated out. I may as well take my W off my bar because it just never seems to hit them unless they're already CC'd. She's going to drop, and I'm going to run off. Here is a clean 1v3. There's no shot that Lux lives. Actually, it was a 1v2 because Yasuo decided to back. That might have been a misplay by him. We go in. I have to flash that. I'm going to make a video about the bot difficulties, but Lux is one of the most deadly bots, and her beams, especially when she's fed, one shot. They'll hit me for 1600, and if you're too close to her, you can get hit by multiple beams. So there we go. I dip. Me dipping is one of the best decisions I made here. Denying bots gold as much as sometimes you're going to die, and it is normal to die. Even on the leaderboards, you'll see they'll get kills just because the bots they overkill you so much your babies feel it. Mordekaiser is able to finish off Lux here. Meanwhile, Diana is hungry. I am not going to get away from her. I have run from a Diana bot many times. The only way you can tell what happens is the minimap. I actually drop a trap, and I cast a slow on her, and I'm on the edge of a teleport. I get teleported out. I immediately go to bushes, and I recall in the enemy jungle. You can't stay in the enemy jungle. Veigar will eventually ult you, and you'll get one shot no matter who you are. But the edge of their jungle, you can hang out for a little bit, and you can certainly recall. So Diana goes about her day, and I I pull Diana off of Mordekaiser. She doesn't bother fighting him. I don't give up a kill. That was a really good exchange. Ooh, I backed it up. Okay, so I back it up. I slow her, I root her, I get ported out. I have to immediately run to this bush. If I don't immediately run to this bush, the bots will usually chase, and Diana has more movement speed than most players. Okay, Malzahar dying. Malzahar dead. Mordekaiser just killed someone. He killed Jinx bot. Yasuo is going to get his ass handed to him by Diana bot. No point in watching him. There's a lot going on mid. This is actually, so the bots don't normally congregate at these things. They were actually heading the bot lane. If I had warded this bush, I would have seen this coming. The bots can sense you in the bush, and they're gonna just hang out and wait. If you come into range, they're gonna spider sense you out, and they're just gonna come for you. So I just eat it here, which is unfortunate because they normally don't guard this objective. This is one of the harder objectives that you can face. It's probably not the hardest. King of the Hill is hands down, I would say, the most brutal, but I have beaten this objective a few times. It requires an incredibly coordinated team. The big thing to know about this objective is that while they don't typically guard these nodes, they will teleport to them. You're going to have to play around the teleport. You're going to either have to bring all the boys and win the fight and then kill it, or get them to teleport and then bait them. But if they're in your base, you're going to have to ignore your base, and you're going to have to do this because I don't think you can win without securing an objective. And this objective is not worth 1,000 gold. It's worth 1,500. That is an insane amount of gold. All right. That is so unfortunate. Amumu and Malzahar, boom, just done. Mordekaiser now has the aggro of 3 bots. Mordekaiser actually does a very good job here. One of the best things you can do during an objective is bait multiple bots. If you can bait 2 bots, great, but he baits 3 bots. Hopefully Lux hangs out. He actually gets ulted under tower. That's unfortunate. Amumu's chilling there. Lux is now run off. That's sad. If Mordekaiser can survive here, that's going to be fantastic, and he does. Okay. I have mixed feelings about this. I believe Darius actually dropped his first ward. That was incredibly smart on him. Anyone with a teleport op can come and get this. I picked up Lux's aggro. I didn't intend to. I was just running through, minding my own business, and she followed me. It would have been nice if Darius had fought this, but all hope is not lost. Lux blew all of her abilities on me. She blew her AoE binding. She blew her AoE ult. Her ult's almost up already, but she doesn't have any of those mechanics. And Darius got quite a lot of damage on this. Mord ports in, and because Mord ported in, more bots ported in as well, I believe, is what went down. Now we're going to back it up a little bit. Yasuo's fighting Diana at our top tower. Veigar just books it. This is incredibly smart. Diana is probably close to dying because she's fleeing. Actually, yeah, she is very close to dying, so she is fleeing. Veigar, the worst thing he can do is help Diana fight or wave clear. This far one on the complete opposite side is the most critical. You want to send a group of boys to the middle one and then to the bot one. And if you can have pink wards pre-placed, that is even better. But he's going to go up there and he is going to work on that thing. All the other bots are preoccupied. Did Mord die? Mord didn't die, but Amumu eventually moved on. Malzahar moved on. I'm getting annihilated by Lux. Nothing I can do about it. I really wish Darius had fought there. 9 times out of 10, your teammate needs, like, it is so much better to just kill the bots and then do the objective. When you get the Ziggs version, I like to run past Ziggs, kill all the bots. There's usually only 2, and then kill Ziggs from behind. And then as the bots trickle back in, you kill them, and then you get back on Ziggs. And he usually takes out 1 or 2 towers. If you can get him before the Nexus turrets, excellent. And I have killed him with an inhibitor turret still up. But it takes a really strong group of players. Also, do not get hit by anything Ziggs throws down. Typically, those mines will, a single mine will do like 1600 magic damage. And my Twitch and my Jinx have been one shot before. Okay, so Darius ignored me, but he did get a decent, he got this thing to 50%. If you look up top, all the bots teleported up to Veigar. He sees this coming and casts his teleport. The bots have all dispersed, and he is teleported down. And he gets this. While he does this, Yasuo makes his way to the middle one and gets the middle one. It is so important to play bot ping pong, and if you do the objectives, the bots will usually peel off. Every objective is different. The bots behave differently for each objective, so the strongest thing I can tell you is learn their behaviors for the individual objectives, and focus on the objectives. If you sit in base, you are guaranteed to lose. You have to have the dragon buff. You have to have the gold. I know if the bots complete King of the Hill, they get 400 adaptive damage, and it is literally impossible to come back from that. You cannot let them win any of these, but the penalty for losing these objectives varies. Okay, I was actually flabbergasted that we got this. I thought it was going to be an L, and we pulled it off. Let's see, for some reason I went back in time. Oh yeah, I wanted to see who placed this ward. It was Darius. Yasuo gets the kill on Diana and then goes mid. There's my unfortunate death. Jinx ports away from Yasuo, giving Yasuo a free mid. Because I was a martyr, the bots acted a certain way and my team was able to capitalize off of it. But the only reason they could do that is because they were in position and ready to go. Okay, let's see what's going on. I have a decision to make at this point. If I had 10 more kills and an extra item, I'm probably not going to care about the lanes. But my favorite item set to go is Yantai or Tall or whatever. That great item with the steroid attached to it when you attack a hero. My second item is Sword of Divinity, I think it's called. And then my third item is Runaan Hurricane. And I've tried different variations. I really feel like you need 2. If you have there's no making up for a bad team. Anytime I do Runaan Hurricane second, it just doesn't work out. Killing power from the first 2 items, Runaan from the third. I have it built at this point, I'm pretty sure. So I just commit to wave clearing. Did I skip ahead? Well, something happened. Well, here we have a team fight. These triangles are so toxic. Try not to get polymorphed, but they can affect the enemy bots. My team is roaming. I have fed bruisers. These bruisers don't need me in the team fights. I need to still show up for the whatever team fights I can, but I also need to prioritize keeping the waves cleared and pushed out. That is going to help out. The bots are going to go back to the waves. They're not always going to teleport in. It is sometimes hard to predict this behavior and what they're going to choose, and part of it is you can't see their cooldown. When their teleports are up, they're going to do whatever. Mordekaiser egged someone or killed someone. He killed Lux. And he got the other 2 super low. I'm clearing mid out. me rushing to this team fight isn't going to accomplish much. When you have fed bruisers, they're going to secure the kills before you get there. So you're just going to have to make a decision. I clear out bot. I clear out mid. I don't push out my lane. I see a lot of people make the mistake where they like to push out the lane. You clear your wave and then you move on to where the team fight is and you want to congregate. One of the reasons you want to congregate is because they love to teleport in. They're going to their teleports are not like ours. They can just do whatever. And freaking Luxbot pops off again and kills 3 of us. I did get the last hit on her, so me showing up definitely had impact there. The respawn time isn't terrible, and positioning is huge. My best advice for an ADC or a mage is to try and be off to the side so any AoE that goes out isn't going to hit you. Cho is the worst, and you can get by multiple of his knockups. Here we have, so this is, they're not all going to port in and immediately obliterate me. I could have flashed this, and I probably will in future games, but my thought process here is I'm going to get 1 stack of my passive and completely pop off. You can even see who's porting in. Diana is porting a very short distance. Malzahar and Jinx. I anticipate Lux is going to die super quick. I'll have a stack. My plan was to move out of the way and then steamroll this fight from afar. Also, don't be afraid to leave rocket mode off for Jinx. Especially if you're an ADC main, which I am not. You can stutter step and just make magic happen with your Gatling gun. But the bot abilities are so insanely big in this game that you're just going to get hit by tons of stray stuff. I'm in 2x mode and it's so fast. It happened almost instantly. They port in and just unload, dude. I swear that I had more time on their teleport. Oh my god, instant. Mordekaiser got an AoE pull in. I assume he's going to land a Q here. He's already AoEing them down. The nice thing is they used all of their abilities on me. And so now my team has free actions. I can only assume Mordekaiser ate a teleport here and got ported. So they're off fleeing. They split up, super disorganized. This is crazy bot behavior. I don't know why they're acting this way. Probably because they all ported under a tower. There you go. Team is cleaning up. Boom. Vigo is taking bodies again. Oh, Lux is gonna kill someone. Oof. Yeah. Oh, she's so broken. Everybody hates Brandbot for some reason. Meanwhile, Lux is over here. Dude, I hate Lux, and I am surprised we beat her. Yeah. Just crushing our team. Yep. Oh my god. What about that is fair? You guys couldn't see what happened there. Darius and I were running away. We pulled Diana bot into our base. That fight would have been even more one-sided if we hadn't done that. Diana can just 100 to 0 me, so I don't really want to die again. So I run with Darius. I wait for the boys to show up. She casts her abilities on someone that isn't me, and it's now safe for me to go in. Here's Lux. I run out for that. In one singularity. Dude, Lux is so broken. One singularity hits 3 times, and it gets slightly bigger each time, and it kills me. And that's all there is to it. And you're just going to have to learn to deal with this. This is part of dealing with Veigar's evil Veigar bots. There, it is ridiculous. Now, I can't even say that we had an easy set. Um, Jinx and Lux are both terrifying. Diana is terrifying. Uh, Melzahar can turn a 5v5 into a 4v5 very quickly, and Amumu can just lock everybody down while Lux pops off and Jinx pops off, and it's just not a good time. Okay, we got some kills here. The nice thing about Melzahar is he drops that little flower on the ground. It sucks that it takes 5 auto attacks, but it is 50 gold, and gold adds up. I don't think his little crabs that come out of it give gold, though. Here's a fight. God damn it. Lux landed a binding, and there's so much going on, I missed it and got hit. And we're all dead here. I'm going to be honest, even if the binding hadn't hit, I was probably dead there because they all had stuff up. So the team is getting scared. We're at 14 minutes and 56 seconds. It's normal for the bots to go Super Saiyan at this point, and you need to sort of just graveyard zerg them. So there we go. There they go. You don't always get this phase. If you're crushing it, you can skip this phase. I don't know what causes it, but or if skipping it causes other things to occur, but you won't always see this phase where they kill all of your inhibitors. Now, something important to note, don't 2v2, don't 1v1, do not run down middle and aggro them all. You pick one lane and you go there. I normally in a pug would just say go right or go north. And the worst thing I ever see is someone goes down middle and then the bots collapse on you from all sides and there is no dodging any of the AoE. So either go to the north inhibitor or go to the right inhibitor, pick one and kill the squishy. Ideally in this situation, we want to kill Lux or Jinx, and Jinx might actually be the better pick here. And it is normal for the entire team to die here, and you still make it out of this phase. You only have to survive for a little bit of time. And if you kill the minion waves, you're in a good spot. Alright. So top got minions. Those it is good to actually clear these minions, and you'll see me do that. Plus I AoE off of them. All I can hit is Diana. I really wanted to hit Lux if I could, or Jinx, and I don't think I did. Oh, I did. I have 2 stacks already. It's really important as Jinx to, if you can get damage on people, you'll watch me randomly ult, and I am ulting just so that I'm hitting a target I don't think I'm going to get to the kill for. It'll speed you up, and it'll give you attack speed, and if that attack speed is actually really good for wave clearing if your team's super far behind and you're missing a lot of inhibitors. It's also good for just snowballing the team fight. So, and the bots are really good at dodging your ult, so don't be afraid to just throw it. Their skill level for dodging the ult goes up exponentially when they're at low health. It's so tilting. Okay, we handily snowball this. You kill the Veigar flower, and it's we kill the Melzahar flower, and it's now time for this fight. And I actually slow this down so you can see what's going on. So the first thing he's going to do is throw out these red discs. I say it's 20, but it's probably more like 15. The puddles that he leaves behind deal damage. There's a thing with the replay where you can see the circle you need to be in. If you're not in the circle, he's going to hit your nexus. He has picked 2 targets, Yasuo and Darius, and they have to run out, and they're dropping puddles. As you can see, there's the puddles. He has done an arena phase. He has taken someone down into an arena, and they're fighting Diana. And it's poor Vigo. And he can normally 1v2, but he can't do that with Diana. That is a pull in. He's going to pull in and then drop meteors. That is a run out. If you get hit by that, you're stunned. As soon as you run out, you need to get back into that circle, and the circle you need to be in is actually more narrow, or like so. You need to really get into that circle and hit him. These are the spinny things. Um, they turn about 180 degrees. So if you run, you're good. If you're melee and you run with them, you are just going to vaporize your health bar. The most ideal thing to do is run through them and then run behind them and avoid damage, because then you don't have to heal up. I don't have an elixir, so and your lifesteal is nerfed in this phase, so even if I had an elixir, it's going to take me a while to lifesteal up. It looks like Mordekaiser got ported down with Jinx. This is insanely ideal. Now, he didn't have a ton of health when he got ported down, but he's Mordekaiser. He lands his Q on her, she's dead, he comes out, he sees this crap, and he dodges it. I'm in, and I'm attacking, and he doesn't hit the Nexus. Alright, he's spawning his orbs, he's getting ready to do swirls. We've actually transitioned him, and we actually skipped quite a few of his abilities. This is the summon phase. This phase feels different every time I get here, but he's going to summon these things. I'm used to forbing up, but he summons them, I think, one at a time, and then they slowly become vulnerable. I thought there was going to be some to the north, which is why I'm running around like a lost child. I haven't seen this a ton, and I haven't fought it in previous years, so this is my first time doing Veigar and figuring this all out. You're going to have to run around, find them. Good AoE damage is strong here. Our non-AoEers have stayed on the boss. I try and target the portals. I clean up most of this, and I leave Veigar to clean up the rest, and I eat damage on my way out. I have no idea what that pie ability is. Okay, he's just dropping shit from the sky, so it's sort of like a keep moving kind of deal. My health is low. I hate fighting these things. One of these is the real one and isn't going to take any damage from you. You need to peel off of it and kill the others. So I'm thinking I'm doing a big brain play heading north. Thinking I'm fighting an image. And splat. If you leave the area, you auto die, and that's a knockback. Oh my god. But the team went west. They cleared everything. They're coming back in. I think Yas was going to die soon. Darius must have like 300 magic resist, because he just gets hit by everything and lives. Yasuo didn't see what he had and just died there, but he carried, so, you know, we give him a pass. There's a lot going on with this boss fight. You are going to die. You need to become an expert at this boss fight before you're going to become flawless, so you're going to die. People are going to die. You're going to have to do your best, try and manage it as best you can. He's doing the house phase. Someone gets ported to the house. The exterior Veigars are going to attack the house with a Baleful Strike. If the person in the house is a squishy, they're just dead. So if it's a tank, you can just leave them in there. They're never going to die. Look at that. I think it's Veigar in there. Yeah, he's just not getting hit. Those images, they attack to the side, they attack the center of the room, and I think they'll occasionally target your current location. Boom, get in. And next phase. Okay. Someone accidentally did this. You want to get the red thing, the red circle on top of him, see? And then it's a few seconds later, it's going to drop something, and it's going to break the damage reduction. These pumpkins have I'm just going to say a 90% damage reduction. I don't know what it actually is. You can damage them, but this red circle just splats them. Yeah, it missed. That one missed. Yeah, Darius keeps missing, so we're pinging him. We're pinging him. He eventually figures it out. He accidentally did it correctly the first time, and then misses with that one. but he knows what to do now. It takes him a little bit. I didn't realize this the first time we were doing this, although I don't know that I get this phase every time. Sometimes I get the 5-man arena phase, which I don't think we got. This fight has like 4 different phases, and you only see 3 of them, and it always feels random which ones you get. All right, I am low on health, so I run away. To instead of damaging him, I run away and preserve as much of my health as I can. The rest of the team died. So if no one, and Darius just got ported down, I have no clue who he's fighting. I tried to flash this. It is incredibly difficult to dodge. I guess I could have been out farther, but I am concerned that if I'm out too far, he's going to just destroy our Nexus, which I don't want to happen. So I'm stunned. I'm at the edge of the circle. I actually thought I need to get into the circle, and I semi-screwed up because the circle actually looked purple on my screen. So that's why I got in to soak it, and then he just red circles it. Ideally, I would have ran left of the spray, possibly flashed to the left of it, but I'm not. I haven't seen that ability a ton. I only ever see that ability once every time I get to Veigar, and he can target it on anyone. So he's usually targets it on other members of my team, and it doesn't impact me, or I luck out and thread the needle. So I'm stunned. Amumi just killed Darius. I get back in. I hit him and I stop him from beating on my Nexus, and he KOs me. And he starts hitting the Nexus again, and the boys are all back up now, and they're back in, and he has no health yet. So think a few moments ago, I could have either eaten more health loss and taken avoidable damage and actually, let me just back up. Where were we? Yeah, right here. So I start running. I'm not doing any damage. I'm just avoiding damage. Literally, all I did was run. So many people will just eat avoidable damage, and 3 people die. So I actually taken where we are right now, and I know that this is a tough spot where people like to faceplant, and my health is low, so I'm going to preserve as much of my health as I can, and my team starts falling. If I had not made this decision, we would have lost. Okay, let's flash ahead. Is this where it is? No. No, not there. Okay. Darius isn't up. Darius is in the Shadow Realm. I eat a missile. I get knocked back. I could have technically outskilled those things, but I don't get to see this part of the fight a ton. I live with a sliver of health. I get back in, I attack him. He stops attacking our Nexus. I could have been dead there. He would have killed our Nexus if I had not made that decision earlier. And that's one of the things you have to understand about this type. This is a cutting edge boss from World of Warcraft. This isn't a for fun mode. This isn't a casual game where you can fuck around. This is bleeding edge content. And it's so frustrating when people don't take it seriously. But because I had made that decision, it covered up the mistake. 3 people in my group made mistakes and died where they shouldn't have. I made a mistake and died where I shouldn't have. By making wise decisions, it can have an impact further down the line. And because of that, this is not a lost attempt. We get to keep playing, and we get to try and defeat him. The boys come in. They're doing damage. They're hitting him. He's spraying. That wind wall mitigated a ton of damage. Yasuo, dude, Mord, Yasuo, and Vigo are just eating avoidable damage. They're catching this avoidable damage with their teeth. I get ported down. Um, oh no, that's Mordekaiser. I've already died to a Moo bot. Mordekaiser actually gets ported down. He one-shots Jinx bot. Well, he doesn't one-shot, but he kills Jinx bot. And we're all back in the fight. You get these eyes on your head. I don't know why. I have to. Okay, when he gets to 3, he's going to start doing stuff. Now, I have a decision to make here. If I go north and try and hit the boss, Mord has nowhere to go if he needs to run out. Or I can just play safe and give him space, and then I have space. And then... What? Where did I go? I lost track of myself here. Oh, I got oh, never mind. I'm about to die to Moo. I get ported down, and the one person I don't want to fight is a Moo. And he lands his stun even though I'm running. He E's me and ults me, and I'm just dead. Cool game. I might make one of my items a shield in the future, and possibly some magic resist that gives me Omnivamp for the rest of combat. Mordekaiser and Mordekaiser for sure runs with it and just catches all of those, and just his health bar melts. Darius actually does it well, and his doesn't. The only reason Mord doesn't die is Yasuo wind walls, and there you go. We beat it. There's so much that can go on with this fight. So there's a lot of working pieces to this mode, but that's a successful run. This is not my best Jinx game. I have gotten to Veigar, I think at least once as Jinx, and I've had some insanely good Jinx games where I had 20 or so kills. But this was the first time where I got to the final phase with Veigar as Jinx and beat it. I don't normally play Jinx, but this team was incredibly clean. Normally your base is going to be destroyed and burning and smell of urine. And Jinx comes in really clutch. When your team does not snowball like this because you have 4 squishies, Jinx can just mop stuff up. And if Jinx can just sit in the if there's no Lux, I hate Lux. I hate Lux, I hate Caitlyn, and I hate Xerath. So if there's not a bunch of them in the game, and I can just sit back and dude, I love Maokai, Amumu, Nautilus. If I can just sit back and AoE and Wukong and just AoE them all down, dude, I'm living my best life. I didn't pop off this game. I didn't get a gold advantage, so I was like, ugh. Do I try and farm another Jinx game so I have a video, or do I just go with this one? And I just went with this one. There were some good highlights to it. It felt horrible because there are a couple of extremely unfortunate events. Something I could have done differently. I died to a Mumu and Malzahar mid-game, and that was one of the few avoidable mistakes. I could have played better. I normally would have warded that bush, but I'm used to them not being in the jungle for that event. Although now that I come to think of it, I do believe they might guard the middle one. But if I had pink warded the dragon pit, or pink warded bot lane, then I would have not saved my ward and warded that bush. And that's one of the few changes that I would make just to play that better. But anyhow, that's Veigar Bots. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.